All right, I'm on. See you then. Bye. All right.
All right, I'm on. See you then.
Hold
Bye.
on a minute. I gotta turn this down so I'm not hearing myself
All right.
echo. There we go. All right, we got 5 in the room. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We are going to be doing a video commentary. And when I'm done with the video commentary, I'm going to bring my friend One Love Lisa up here to enjoy a discussion time about the commentary. In fact, I might bring her up now and we can discuss in between. All right, hold on. What, honey? I don't know what he's saying over there. All right, there we go. So, we had to change our commentary group to here because I tried it on the other one and nobody was answering me and I was getting frustrated. So, this is called On Discovering Who Your Judas Is, the Backstabber. It will not be taught by me. I am just commentating on it, giving my opinion. And here we go. I have to open it first.
Hallelujah. Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen as well as watch. Today we are continuing talking about the Judas. Some of you discovered who your Judas is in your circle. Others you have yet to find out. We are going to talk about the Judas who you have discovered and how to deal with this backstabber. Basically, we know that Judas was among the disciples. He was a disciple who turned on Jesus. We're going to go over to the Bible in this particular audio message. There are a number of Bible verses where we talk about Satan and how he is a deceiver, okay? We know that Satan puts people up to doing many things. We also know that people have their weaknesses within them that move on them to do the dirt that they do to others, okay? So when you discover that a trusted friend turned on you, when you discover that a family member no longer is dealing with you because they're going along with what others have said, who happen to be backstabbers, negative, and downright dirty, it hurts. It absolutely hurts. Satan is a deceiver. In 2 Corinthians 11:3, it says, "But I am afraid that as the serpent deceived Eve
you are.
with craftiness, your minds will be led astray from the simplicity and purity of devotion to Christ." So why is Judas there? Why is the backstabber there? Why is the gossip or whatever you want to call this person? Why are they in your life? Why did they even bother to deal with you? Simply put, their job is to distract you, to take you away from your calling, take you away from your relationship with Christ, take you out of your marriage, take you out of that role as a parent, knock you off of the totem pole at the workplace. That is their job, to destroy you.
Okay, I'm going to stop it periodically because otherwise you get copyright problems. You have to commentate. They're okay with you streaming things as long as you commentate in between. This was really eye-opening. That's all I can say. And I hope y'all are able to hear it really clearly. I'm trying to put it as close to the computer thing that I can, the microphone. Can you hear it okay, Lisa?
Yes, oh my gosh. When I heard this video, I was like, oh my goodness. I could think of so many times in my life. This just resonates with me.
Oh, me too. Many times, especially the past stuff I went through with those people I told you back in early 2000s to a T.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Whoops, maybe we go.
Ultimately destroy you. Mind, body, spirit, finances, what have you. You are a target. Okay? So when we know who the Judas is, we've got to be able to stand up to this Judas. Okay? Some Judases we don't need to be bothered with because they're going to hang themselves. That's what Judas did, right? But there are other Judases that they're hard. They're hard to get rid of because there are ties to these Judases, okay? Once again, the Judas that we're speaking of is someone who is being friendly to you at this time, but later on, they're going to turn against you. And some of you all have seen signs, okay? They've said some weird things. They're treating you differently. All before they were okay with you. They were, being of service, but something is funky in the atmosphere, okay? So we're not talking about somebody who has no connection to you and they just suddenly start doing something crazy. We're not talking about that. We're talking about people who had a connection to you, but then they turn on you. Okay. And some of you all discovered who those Judases or a Judas is in your circle.
Okay. We're going to stop and talk about that a minute, just because I got to commentate in between. So we all have them and have had them. And if you haven't had them, you will have them. At some point, you will come across somebody that is a Judas in your life. And what she says on here is absolutely excellent. I'm telling you, I've heard some of this stuff, but not put quite the way this lady can put it. And I actually wrote to her and told her I was going to do commentary on her video tonight. She didn't respond yet that I know of, but I don't think she probably would care as long as I'm not monetarily profiting from it. And I didn't monetize this, or if I did, I'll.
Yeah, and if you reference her link to the video in the description,
Yeah,
I
it
think
would be a problem. Definitely.
Okay. Now, the backstabber, because Judas, part of being a Judas is you got to be a backstabber. Okay. You are friendly, but then you turn around and you stab somebody in the back with the words, with the evil speaking, with the deception, with the manipulation, with the power and control, all of that. Not to say that any of you all who are listening are guilty, but some folks that you know are. As you can see on your screen, a perverse man spreads strife, and a slanderer separates intimate friends. Okay? Now, it's one thing when you know the facts, and the facts are that there is a Judas. The Judas has demonstrated that he or she cannot be trusted. There has been evidence and proof. But a person who just assumes, a person who has an opinion, a person who takes a little bit of information and runs with it, we call that type of person a gossip, okay? You don't have any facts. You're just going around saying whatever about whoever. That's different. Too many people will say things like so-and-so's a gossip just because they don't like what's coming out of a person's mouth.
I loved that part where she said that, because I can't tell you how many times I have called people on their stuff throughout my life. And they're like, oh, you just gossip, but you're judging us, because they don't want to be held accountable. Even if what I'm saying is true, then they have to, what's the word? Not transfer. What's the word I'm trying to say, Lisa? Where they put stuff on you instead of dealing
project.
It's not projecting, it's
deflect.
Deflecting. Yes. They will deflect onto you that, oh, well, you're this and you're that, because they know they're wrong and they know you're calling them on the truth, but they don't want to deal with it. So you're the one that's wrong. You're judging them unfairly. God loves everybody.
Well, you're not even allowed to question things when they seem odd. You're not even allowed to say, wait a minute here. I don't understand what's going on here. Didn't you just say this? And I'm really confused. And then all of a sudden they freak out on you and like hang up on you because like you're asking a question because you're genuinely confused, because all of a sudden it makes absolutely no sense what they're doing. Like 1 minute they're trashing somebody to you, and the next minute they're I don't know what they're doing. They're all of a sudden best friends with that person. And how is this even happening when they were totally trashing them?
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. just the concept of even questioning is not allowed.
Right. I remember back when, with the one person in my life back in the early 2000s, the first thing she said to me when she kind of took me under her wing was, people were telling me that I need help, that I have a Jezebel spirit, that I'm manipulative and I control people and I'm judgmental. Do you think that about me, Laura? Well, at the time I didn't know her. So I'm like, oh, no, I don't think you're like that. Oh, the person making the video, her name is Ask Mommy Mars. I can't remember her name, but Mommy Mars sent it to me. So
It was so good. I mean, it was like unbelievable the way she presents everything. And I think back to, you just have to think back to people in your life, whether it be at work, whether it be relatives you don't get along with,
Right.
friends that you thought were friends that really were not your friends. They hated your guts and they were backstabbers. They all tried to tear you down because in all reality, they just seriously wanted to distract you and knock you off your game, because maybe in that moment in your life, you were doing very well, and they cannot have that.
Right. Exactly.
They can't have it.
And we'll talk more about that too, about why people do this stuff.
Okay, that's not a gossip. The dictionary definition says casual or unconstrained conversation or reports about other people, typically involving details that are not confirmed as being true. I have a background in journalism and communications, and one of the things that we learned early on was to get as many facts as possible, to interview as many people as possible in order to put the story together. Okay? So there is no coming up with something off the top of your head when you're putting together a news story. You are finding out the who, the what, the when, the where, the how, the why. And if you can't find out certain information immediately, you just give yourself some time, you do some research. Sometimes the information falls in your lap. Those are the best stories because somebody has an end. You usually want somebody who was there, somebody who knows that person. That is who you're after.
I think that's awesome that she has a background in journalism, because I always thought, well, I have my background in psychology. That gives me an edge. I never thought about the fact that journalists have to get all the who, what, why.
They have to get all the facts.
Yes, all the facts. Which,
in other words, you're not going off of a feeling. See,
right.
It all starts with a feeling and a hunch that you know something's off. Then comes the journalism. Then comes gathering of the facts to take you to what your hunch was.
Makes sense. And thus the true crime investigators on this channel.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of them might have a background in journalism for all I know. So it makes sense.
Yes.
But she's really brilliant how she puts it all together and helps you with this whole thing.
You don't go off on just what you feel, right? Okay. But Judas doesn't like you, let's say. And Judas goes on what he feels or she feels about you, even though the information that Judas has is not accurate or it's not valid or it's filled with his opinion, okay, or her opinion. So there's this conversation that takes place about you. Just goes over to the circle and starts talking about what he or she observed or thinks. Or, well, this person, I don't think they'll make a good manager. I don't think this person will make a good employee, or I don't think that this person will be helpful. That's what Judas does. Why would Judas even do that? Because Judas is looking to elevate his or herself. Okay?
So little seeds planted.
Yes, I was just going to say that. The planting of the seeds.
Yes.
The seeds of doubt, to be able to cause others to doubt someone that they are attempting to smear.
Exactly. I remember a verse in the Bible about not letting a root of bitterness spring up among you because it'll choke out everything around it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the good one. Come on. There.
Now, I'm using the name Judas because, of course, we don't want to use real names. But Judas wants to elevate his or herself. And in order to do that, Judas has to talk to anybody who has itching ears to hear the gossip that's coming off
Oh,
of her
so
mouth.
huge.
Well,
I know. Go ahead.
So huge.
Go ahead.
The itching ears of those that want to hear gossip.
Yes.
They just it's they gotta hear it. It's a need.
Mm-hmm. Itching ears.
Itching ears.
The Bible talks about itching ears about that are listening to other doctrines and stuff like that too. It goes both ways. I mean, it goes all different ways. Itching ears. Because when you have an itch, it's irritating. Unless you itch it, you scratch it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. NM. Oh, yeah. She knows who it is. Christine knows who it is. Yeah, I might do more commentaries on her. She is brilliant. I love this lady. She's absolutely awesome.
when she last worked here, when he was a part of the club, when she was helping out, when he was being of service, here's what I saw, right? Maybe factual, maybe not, maybe exaggerated. Once again, a person who wants to elevate his or herself, a person who wants to draw others near, a person who wants to make sure that you don't get close to another individual who may have been speaking positively about you. They will create tension.
Oh, they don't want them anywhere near you.
Right.
Nowhere near you.
No, they don't want anybody near you that's speaking positive about you.
Nope. They don't want anyone near you.
It's true. Especially people that like you.
No, they're jealous of all the people that like you.
They seek to divide.
They seek to divide, tear down, and destroy.
Yeah, my friends back then did that a lot. Well, so-called friends. I don't know how much friends they were.
Well, that's where the saying came in. With friends like that, who needs enemies? What they're talking about are people that pretend to be your friend.
Yes.
And you will know these people when you meet them, because all of a sudden, when the time comes, you will not know what the heck just happened. It'll be like whiplash. Someone smacked you upside the head, and all of a sudden, all this stuff is happening, and you're like, what the heck just happened?
Exactly.
You don't even know why it happened, because that person was talking to you the whole time like you were friends. You had no idea you had a problem with this person, but yet they're creating this narrative on the outside to everyone else like you're fighting, but you're not fighting with them. You never even knew that anything like this was taking place.
Exactly.
That doesn't trust you, paint this picture that you're untrustworthy, that you're evil, that you're manipulative, you're abusive, because these are all the things that really describe that person.
Okay.
Sometimes
listen to that part. I love that.
That is huge.
Yes. And
because in all reality, the person that thought that the person that they were friends with was their friend and they were loyal to them. I mean, this has happened to me, you guys. This has happened where I was floored. I was literally like, oh my God, what just happened? I was like, my head was spinning. I thought the person was my friend. And here, this person was turning people against me behind the scenes. I had no idea, because she was being my friend, like privately on the phone. Okay.
I know. My mom used to say, if somebody will badmouth somebody to you, they will badmouth you to somebody else. And that has proven true in every single relationship where that has happened.
Well, there
Everything.
is such a thing as having the one friend that you absolutely positively trust. I know my mother told me about this, that you have to have one friend that you can use as a sounding board. You don't want to do it too much because you don't want to be toxic. You don't want to be bringing people down.
Right.
But to be able to vent. Oh my gosh. Are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, my computer almost went to sleep.
Yeah,
She said you don't want to burden your friend, but you need a friend to talk to. That's not the same. That's not where you're gossiping to everybody and trying to divide or conquer. You're literally communicating with someone you trust who is a very good friend of yours, but it's not with the intention of tearing people down. It's with the intention of just venting your feelings, but not tearing people down.
Right, exactly. Very true. Man, I'm echoing bad.
Hi, Susan. How are you doing?
The Lord Jesus puts me through some of these trials offline. Why it is sometimes that the Lord reveals who my Judas or Judases are. And then I think a little more deeply and I realize it's because I am dealing with people in a network who have their share of enemies, and they want somebody who's bold enough to talk about their enemies without
Bam!
the fluff.
Did you catch that?
No, what did she say?
Oh my!
Bam in the middle.
When I heard that, I was like, "Yeah." Okay, so the people that are your friends, that you think are your friends, that are really your enemies, what they do is they seek out people that are fighters, that are bulldogs for justice, and those are the people that they recruit to be their friends because they know they will go out and do their bidding. And those people that are fighting for them think they're fighting for justice, and then they find out, wham, they've been used to do their dirty work. But they don't know that until all of a sudden they go bam and dismiss them, and all of a sudden you've got they realize that their whole name has been smeared behind the scenes, and nobody's talking to them anymore.
So like minions and flying monkeys and goons and all those kind of things.
And they need people, the very people they despise and do not like are the people that they need, the people that will stand up for justice and what is right. So what they do is they tell you, hey, this person's bad and this is why and this is what they're doing to me, and they do this all behind the scenes, and they and then they have you, the person that will speak up and speak those words that they cannot speak because they have to appear to be pure.
Yeah, makes sense. So then
They let everybody else do the work so they can look innocent.
So they have them be the fall guy.
Yeah, they go. You're thrown under the bus immediately once the fight is done.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
G. Marie asked.
Bam! Yeah.
G says, "What happens if you still have to work with such people?"
Oh, you got to get a new job. That's what I've learned. You have to get a new job, because I've already tried to stay for 8 months in a situation like that, where I had a gal there that was very disgusted with me because I loved working and I loved the kids and they loved me, and it was a problem for her. You know, she didn't like happy people. She hated happy people. When in all reality, yes, in all reality, people, this is jealousy. It is what it is.
Right. Dana, you want to come up? You can join in the fun here.
Hey, Dana, a little bit. How you doing, girlfriend?
We've all been, put through stuff like this in our lives. We all can relate to it. So.
Yeah, and it happens with relatives. I mean, it happens with friends. It happens on the job. And what it is, it's so disgusting, because the one that is literally manipulating behind the scenes, you think is your friend.
Yeah.
You have no idea this person is bad mouthing you to everyone. You have no clue any of this is going on.
True. Very true.
out of the let's just be positive and let's just handle things in a watered down sort of way. There are those who want fighters, people who's willing to fight, people who's willing to expose, right? So in order for me to talk like this, I've got to go through my share of fires. And lately I've been seeing some foolishness. People don't know that I know. People don't know that they've been speaking some, or they don't know that I know that they've been speaking some negative things about me. It's unfortunate that when you are, dare we say it, a minority in an atmosphere, there are always going to be those who are going to fault find. There are those who look at you closer than everybody else. If you make a mistake, your mistake, as one woman said, it's like the end of...
You know, we both want to comment on that one.
You go first.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Yes, they will totally fault find about anything, any little mistake you do. And if you call yourself a Christian, you really are under the gun. Well, what? A Christian wouldn't do that. You don't have the right to judge me. And I actually heard a pastor today talk about how the ones that are saying that are the ones that are doing stuff that needs to be judged. They don't want to be called on their stuff. Nobody
And they do not want to be questioned. So if if you question them, hey, wait a minute here, I don't understand what just happened. Didn't you tell me you could not stand so-and-so?
Right.
Why the heck are you talking with so-and-so after you told me that next time we met up with so-and-so, you weren't even going to acknowledge so-and-so?
Yep.
I don't even know what the heck's happening here. And then that person goes, what? Why are you questioning me like this? What's wrong with you?
Exactly.
You know, stuff like that. Woo! Getting all freaked out. And next thing you know, they're hanging up. They're freaking out. They're talking about how their life is horrendous. And oh my gosh, how can I put so much pressure on them? All I did was ask, why did you talk nasty about so-and-so? And now you're talking to so-and-so and acting like, you know, after you told me we weren't talking to so-and-so.
Yeah, back in the day, that happened to me with a person. The person I was with that kind of took me under her wing had pretty much badmouthed this other person to me. And next thing I know, she's sitting on the computer chatting with her in front of me. And I'm like, I thought you didn't want anything to do with her. She's like, don't you think I know what she's up to? I see through everything she's doing. Do you really think that I would, you know, treat you like that? You're my buddy. You're the one that's going to be with me. She's not.
Oh my gosh, that is so key.
And I'm
right there. It's you. You're the special one.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And I'm sitting there and I believed it. I was like, I did, but I didn't. I was like, sounds good. You know, that's nice. It feels good to feel important to somebody. Like you're their right-hand man in the ministry, you know. But I was being set up the whole entire time.
Oh, man alive. And you don't know you're being set up. And oh my gosh, once the gauntlet drops and your head rolls,
yes,
you don't know what the heck just happened.
Exactly.
You have no clue.
Yeah, but she acted like she knew what the other person was trying to do, that the other person was trying to manipulate and divide us.
Yes, exactly.
When
That's
really,
exactly it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, when really what was going on was she was conniving with this person, using the person, because that was my former friend who actually still cared about me. She didn't know she was being used till years later when we sat down and talked about it.
They're all being
I never saw it coming.
They're all being used, Dee.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person is being used, but they don't know they're being used. And the person in the center of it all that's dividing is literally talking to every single person in that circle as if they're the special one.
Yes, they are.
And then they are talking about everybody else in that circle.
Yep.
And they're dividing from within.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody thinks they're the special friend.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. And then when you find out that they've been saying this and you call them on it.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Watch out, because it's the ones that call them on it that they go after, and they come after them hard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dana was saying NM. Yeah, NM are the initials of the person that is speaking on this video that we're commentating on. I forgot her name already. Nicole something, right? Nicole. Hang on, I'll go back up where Mommy Mars announced it before. I couldn't remember it. I just know she's so good. I forget her name, but I heard this and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I gotta share it. I was praying about it, and Nicole McGuire. Yeah.
There you go.
I had to do it tonight. I prayed and prayed. I was like, God, I don't want to jump the gun on this. I don't want to put this out too soon, but this information has to be heard. People need to know what's going on. They need to know.
They need to understand that this happens. The people that you think are your friends are not. And the thing is, everybody they recruit to destroy you, they're going to destroy them at one point or another too.
Yeah.
Because every single person they use is merely a pawn. That's all they are. That's it. Because every single person they're with, they've talked nasty about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the one that calls them out or questions that they go after. I am telling you, that's the person they have to destroy.
Well, one of the traits of narcissism is they leave behind messed up relationships, messed up interpersonal relationships, and they have a whole line of people they've destroyed behind them. You're not the first.
I wouldn't even
That's
call it
very common.
narcissism. I wouldn't even label it. I would just call it for what it is. It is called a very deceptive individual. And it is horrible because this individual is in the center of a wheel and controlling all the spokes and destroying the wheel and standing there and laughing as it's all happening.
Yep. Well, she's calling it Judas on this. That's what we're hearing is about the Judas. So I'm going to continue.
The world, you did the worst thing, but they can make their share of mistakes. They can say all of the negative things that they say. They get away with all sorts of things. And usually us who are mature, us who are not the gossips and the slanderers and looking to take over somebody's position, being a conqueror, we don't go around talking about everybody and what everybody's up to. But we'll get falsely accused of the very things that those people are doing. Okay? So some individuals think that, some of us, we were born yesterday, but I always see the Judas of a woman, the Judas of a man at every workplace. And I always see the weak people or the ones who have the itching ears who are like, oh, what? Oh, I didn't know that.
What was that?
Yeah, and those are the ones who usually, unfortunately, are won over. These are the ones who formulate their negative opinions about you based on hearsay, based on what somebody told them. But meanwhile, they're not going to come up out of their comfort zone to get to know.
In other words, there's no evidence of it. You don't behave in that way.
Right.
But
is Maggie in here tonight?
I think no, she isn't.
Oh man.
She might be really busy. Huh?
Are you able to get a hold of her? Because I told her I was going on. She might have been looking in the other room. Okay, Dana.
Oh, she might be in the other room. One sec.
I closed it down, so she might have gotten confused.
Oh, you're right. 1 second. I hate spell check.
Yeah, I know. Oh, man. Yeah, because I believe that's what happened with Maggie. That's why I asked if she was in the room.
Oh, yeah, it completely did.
Because she was, not that she had itching ears, but she was listening to what everybody was saying, thinking, oh, man, this Dee Dee must be a really cruddy person.
Well, that's what I did.
Yeah.
No, there's a difference. Okay, you have the itching ears.
Mm-hmm.
Those are people that love gossip and love drama and love to just hear about it all. Yeah. Now, I'm a fighter. That's why I was recruited. I was recruited because I'm someone who will stand up for justice. I am someone who will call people out and just state what is truth. So that's why this person recruited me, because this person cannot do these things. This person has to be in the back, standing in the back and looking perfect. I'm the fighter. I'm the dog. but what I didn't know was I was not this person's good friend. This person told me I was their good friend, but she was also, from what I started to figure out, talking to every single person she was bad-mouthing to me about.
Yep.
She was also talking to all those people, because I caught her in lies. I would hear
Mhm.
things on the phone and I'd be like, oh my goodness, that is a slip up right there. I think she's talking to all these people, and I think she's talking about all of us. And her behavior started to reflect as such.
And you're really good at catching that stuff.
Yeah, and it really, really got her freaked out to the point where she had to frickin' freak out and just escape and be very proactive and make sure that everybody would look down on me because of the truths that I knew, and she didn't want anyone to ever listen to me because it would expose her as being the fraud that she was.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. Is that a battle that we should be fighting? The only time you want to battle that individual who is discrediting you, who is elevating his or herself by fault finding or finding something negative to talk about concerning you, is if you want their position. If you want a spot, a permanent spot, then you can fight tooth and nail and you ask that the blood covering of Jesus be upon you. You go to your heavenly Father and you just lift that person's name up to him and let God deal with that negative person who,
In other words, you let it go.
gossip, who's really the slanderer.
You give it to God.
Yeah. She said the only time you do stand up to them and fight for that is if you want their position.
I don't
That
want
was
their position.
interesting. I don't either. But maybe like in a situation at work or something, maybe you are more deserving of the promotion than that person is, and they connived to get it.
Heck,
Then
they
you
don't even
feel
let you
bad.
get anywhere near the position.
Right.
They don't let you get anywhere near it. You have already been smeared and stomped on and frozen out even before you know it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I think what she means by that is you're supposed to surrender, give it to God, and then let God handle it. Because basically, you cannot play chess with people that are like this. I'm sorry.
It's true.
It's only going to drag you down in the mud.
Mm-hmm. There's no position I want bad enough to be dealing with that anyway.
No, I don't want. I have learned over from all my experiences, I have learned that it is okay to stand up for what is right and just, but you do that once and then you walk away. You state where you stand and then you walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Everybody's got their right to be the way they're going to be in this world.
Yes, true.
But you don't have to be part of it.
Okay. So I've been accused of many things, and I tell you that I don't lose sleep over what people say about me, because God told me a long time ago they hated Jesus and they're going to hate you too.
That's what he's been telling me.
So after a while, when you're used to the battles, when you're used to the covert as well as overt strategies that people use to discredit you, to make you look like you don't know what you're doing, or you're a fool, or you know, or whatever they want to paint a picture, or they know you're smart, but they look at you as being a threat. You know, you
Threat.
foolishness, and you just allow the Lord to deal with them, and that He does. Trust you me. I don't say things just to say them. I know for a fact that He deals with people.
Oh, yes.
Now, we talked about this perverse man who's spreading strife, and that is part of what Judas the backstabber does. Let's get a little update or a little refresher of Judas, the man who's in the Bible. Luke 22:48 says, but Jesus said to him, okay, Jesus knew his Judas, like some of you all. Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss? Okay. Sometimes Judas does not talk negatively about you to others. Not at all. Sometimes Judas is not confronting you. Judas isn't picking up a phone. Judas isn't showing up.
Mm-hmm.
But Judas may kiss you with a gift. Judas may kiss you through someone else, right? A son, a daughter. Give them a kiss for me, right? Judas may give you something ever so nice, something you may not be able to afford. But what is the catch? Okay? I'm coming where some of you all are. What is the catch? The birthday, the Father's Day, the Mother's Day. Something's a little bit off. You have every right to question what's up. Matthew 26:14-16 says, Then one of the 12, named Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, What are you willing to give me to betray him to you? And they weighed out 30 pieces of silver to him. From then on, he began looking for a good opportunity to betray Jesus. Okay? Money's involved here. He was looking for a good opportunity to betray Jesus. Now, this is one of Jesus's followers. Okay? You've got individuals who are willing to do just about anything to take something or someone from you.
Something or someone.
Always coming over to the house.
Yeah, something or someone from you. And she said they plot it, they plan it, they're preparing, they begin looking for an opportunity. I love the way she put that.
Opportunity, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So they're coasting along, and then all of a sudden, I'll get right in there and do this or do that or say this or say that. Yep.
Let's
sure
plant those seeds. Let's start getting things rolling.
Planting some doubt in there. Yeah,
Mhm.
but did you see how she said this? Did you notice when she did that? Remember how she said that? That's why I hate sometimes being on here, because everything I say is picked apart by somebody. It's like, remember when you said, no, I don't remember it. I got short-term memory loss.
And it is so easy to fall into that, especially if you're someone. Now, if they hone in on you because you're someone who will be a fighter for them,
Mm-hmm.
And they know you got a good heart,
Mm-hmm.
They will make you feel like you are their number one friend. You are so close. They only share everything with you. They only talk to you on the phone. They don't talk to none of those other people. And then they'll start planting seeds of doubt in your mind about a few people within the group that you're in with this person. It's like, I'm like thinking, oh my, well, and then you're like, well, that makes sense. And then before you know it, it is so easy to be bamboozled.
Yeah, it is.
You won't even the smartest person can be bamboozled by types like this.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true.
But she's got her eye on somebody's husband. I'm seeing it in the spirit right now. You got a man who you open your door to. Psalm 37:12. The wicked plots against the righteous and gnashes at him with his teeth. Listen again. Psalm 37:12. The wicked, okay, that Judas of a man or a woman, plots against the righteous. At the workplace, you could be the one that's doing things by the book.
Mm-hmm. Been there.
But they don't like that about you.
Right. They didn't.
So they plot.
It is a plot too, because they go behind the scenes and they are doing things that involve plotting.
Hold on, we're not hearing you.
See,
One love.
crazy,
You're
it?
frozen.
But when it shows up, especially when the demons are at work, it metamorphoses the person.
Okay, this is important, so I'm going to stop that. I'm going to boot you out and come back in, okay?
I got to come in again?
We can't hear you.
Oh.
Let me see. Maybe. It's not going to let me boot you. Am I back? I wasn't fine here. My internet went down. Yeah, I know. I'll get you the link. Hang on. I'll get it for you. No biggie. I'm glad I figured out how to come back in easily, though. There you go. What's wrong, honey? Oh. Yeah. All right, there we go. She's back. It was probably on my end, not yours.
Yeah, it's hard to know when the internet is screwing up.
Yeah, it was my internet. All right, I'll go back on that.
They gnash at you. You
There we
see,
go.
it looks crazy, don't it? But when it shows up, especially when the demons are at work, it metamorphoses the person's face. Sometimes you'll see it just real quick, and then it goes away. That's those demons working in that individual.
We have seen that with somebody that all brought us all together. The very first video I ever did a commentary on, Chris Watts. You see the demon in his face. That's that duping delight that he did.
That's Mark.
Mm-hmm. And when he was reading the pregnancy tests, where he went, I guess when you want something, it happens. You know, that kind of how he grit his teeth like that. Demons. I've said that from the get-go that man was demon possessed, and I still believe it.
Not crazy when you see that little glimpse of something real dark, real evil, and then the person's face, it comes back into his or her own. God is revealing, he's showing you who you're messing with, who you're connected to, who you're working with. It's like, you see, or it just comes over that person real quick. They're being real sweet and nice. And then you see, it's crazy. It's like the face does something strange, right? You only see it though. Nobody else does. You just give God the praise. Your Judas was just revealed.
Right.
Romans 1:30 through 32, slanderers, haters of God. Okay? Now, these people are people that we pay attention to. Slanderers, haters of God, insolent, arrogant, right? Many of you, we talked about the narcissist. Boastful, inventors of evil, disobedient to parents, without understanding, untrustworthy, unloving, unmerciful. And although they know the ordinance of God, right? So all of these people, they do know God. They know rules. They know some type of moral principles related to the one true God, right? They know. But yet they're all of what we described. That those who practice such things are worthy of death. This is Bible now. They not only do the same, but also give hearty approval to those who practice them. This is who you're dealing with.
So what they're saying is not only do they do all these things, they join together with other forces, other people, and not only know that they're wrong and they do them, but they approve of the other people doing them. And that's why they formed that alliance, as you were talking to me about today, Lisa. the alliance.
Yeah, but the people that are involved and that are part of an alliance don't know that they're pawns.
Right.
They have no idea that that person has talked really bad about them too.
Do you think that's the case with all of them, though?
Yes, this is how they work.
No, I mean,
They
all
don't
the
value
people.
anybody as a friend.
I mean,
Everybody is a tool.
I mean, all the people in the group, some of them could just be as evil as the main person, is what I'm saying. And the other ones are the pawns, because there are some that just band together because they're just as evil as the other people are.
Yeah, but they also think there is a leader, and they also think that the person that is the leader, that is the one that brings them all together. So in other words, none of them would have really been together if it wouldn't have been for that person.
Right.
Okay. So it's that person that doesn't really value any of them. And maybe they're just as nasty as that person is, but she's using them as a tool, and she talks about them to all of them. She talks about every single one of them to all the others. The thing is that they don't all talk together to find out what she's saying about them to each other, because they all think they're special.
That's true. That's when we took down the person like that years ago. We all got together and started comparing notes. And we were like, did she say that to you? Yeah, she said it to me too. Wait a minute. She said I was like her best friend that she could tell anything to. Really? She said that to you? She said
The only one. They're all the only one.
It's like the gigolo, the guy that has this woman over here and that woman. And then eventually the women are like, wait a minute. They start calling each other going, did he tell you that? Did he buy you this? You know, it all compares. It's like, yeah, he did it to me too.
Or the person will not have an alliance of going against one person. They can even be in the center, pretending they're best friends with each person, and each person thinks they're the special one. And then they can watch all of them tear each other down because this person is talking about all of them to each other in bad ways to make them mad at each other, but they have no idea what the heck's going on.
Yeah, that's true.
It's really disgusting.
Tanya said people have to be able to stand alone on their own. That's true, because they look for people that are insecure to prey upon a lot of times. People
Very
that
true.
need another person. Like in my case, I needed another person. I always needed that best friend because I didn't feel good about myself.
Yes, G. Marie, triangulation. Exactly. And it can get to be a very big triangle.
Oh, yes. Very true. Very true. Okay.
Get into the specifics of who Judas is. I just laid it out for you. Okay? Any of you all who listened to the other audio about Judas being among you, some folks needed some character traits. Here you are. They're slanderers, haters of God, insolent, arrogant, boastful, inventors of evil, disobedient to parents, without understanding, untrustworthy, unloving, unmerciful. And although they know the ordinance of God, that those who practice such things are worthy of death, they not only do the same, but also give hearty approval to those who practice them. That's the type of people that we're dealing with in these last days. So you're not going crazy. You're not stupid. You're not anything that these people have said, whether they joked about it or whether they were mean-spirited and said it in the most ornery way. You see the truth for what it is. Now, what you going to do about it? You see the Judas. But are you going to sit down with people like this? Are you going to continue to open up your door? Are you going to continue to sit on the phone with people like this? Are you going to continue to go in your pocket and give them money? Are you going to be the one that continues to sleep with someone like this?
Hell no. Excuse me. Sorry, Dee.
Mary?
Yeah.
You're in for a world of hurt if you do. Proverbs 20:20. He who curses his father or his mother, his lamp will go out in time of darkness. Some of you all, you got friends who don't mind cussing and fussing around their mother or to their mother's face. there are those that'll do the same with the father. And you'll think, well, that's just them doing that to their parents. But they wouldn't do that to me because I'm cool with them.
Oh,
It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time that you're going to have a falling out with somebody behind what they said to you. They were disrespectful to those who brought them into the world. What you think they're going to do to you over time? I remember watching a mother and daughter and the smart mouth sort of things that were going on. Okay?
G. Marie, can you pause this?
She ended up having.
of course.
G. Marie, she's not referring to parents that are evil and do what your parents did. She's talking about, if you're good parents.
Yeah,
I mean, this is not evil parents that you're. It's not referring to evil parents. This is talking about just honoring your parents, but your parents are also not supposed to be irritating their children. And the husband is also supposed to be honoring his wife. You see, there is a dynamic there, and it's not about abuse. I understand, Jean Marie.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Nothing to be sorry about.
Her smart mouth ways with other people as well. You gotta watch, see? It's those subtle things, It's those things that we don't really pay close attention to. We're thinking, well, it's just conversation, or it's just this person having a bad day, or they wouldn't do that to me because I never said anything to hurt them. I mean, they wouldn't be mean with me, and then, lo and behold, if they're not mean with you, disrespectful, angry, bitter, resentful with other people, and then eventually it comes around on you. Judas is among you. Proverbs 20:19, he who goes about as a slanderer reveals secrets. Therefore, do not associate with the gossip. What type of secrets are we talking about? Any type of secrets, okay? There are some things that, as much as I would love to get into some details with some of you all, I can't, because God did not move on my spirit to get into some details. So that's why some of the messages, she's talking in general, or she's not giving us as much detail as I would like, because sometimes the information that people give me, it would be too telling, and then therefore I would be revealing a secret. But what I can is give you the type of information that is going to help you deal with the Judas that you might know, but right now it's just a secret between you and God, because you are still trying to figure out what to do with this person. You see, how do I want to deal with them going forward? Because I done seen the metamorphosis, the good to the evil and back to the good again on their face. And I've noticed that they tend to be real foul toward their parents. And then there's been times where they were quite conceited and they bragged a lot, and there, was just some evil that's making me feel some kind of way. But I don't want to, reveal certain things yet. Hey, your secret is safe with God until you're ready to confront this person or oust them or get other people to help you get rid of them. You see, Proverbs 16:28, as we talked about earlier, I won't repeat that one. You can see it on the screen. James 4:11.
Hold on a minute. When she said about till you get ready to oust them or get other people along with you, the easiest way to oust somebody like that is not on your own. You have to have a
Well, this
support
is true.
system.
I
You
agree.
gotta have a support system. And really, no matter what relationship you're in, you should always have healthy support systems on the side, because you don't know when one of those relationships is going to go sour. So you need to make sure you have healthy friends, healthy relationships. Even if you find yourself in more of a toxic one, you need someone to fall back on and someone to kind of keep you objective about the whole thing. Yeah, I'll link her at the end of the video, I promise, when I upload it.
not speak against one another. Okay? Brethren, he who speaks against a brother, notice this is a brother, not Judas. We're talking about a brother who means you well, that's warning you about a Judas in this situation that I'm talking about. Okay? You don't want to speak against him. He's giving you the truth, right? I'm telling you the truth. You don't go around talking about, oh, she's nothing but a gossip, a slanderer, or this, that, and the other, because I'm revealing to you who the Judas is or what you need to look out for. See, that's how Satan messes with people's minds. There are deceivers.
Mm-hmm.
Deceivers that show up and say, I don't want you to say this. I don't want you to do this. I don't, all of this. But yet, they want us to trust them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to trust somebody who God showed me the truth about. I'm not going to sit up there and not warn people that there is a Judas that's among them. And God showed me this, and I'm supposed to just sit on the truth? No. But the devil, though, wants you to be out here telling lies, saying that everything is okay and all right, and everybody's going.
Okay, hold on a second. A while ago, well, long time ago, actually, people had gotten on my case about, the fact that way back when I would name names and I would say, you need to be careful of this person or that person. You're slandering people. You're naming their name. Jesus never did that, but he did. And so did people in the Bible do that, where he would talk about Jannes and Jambres did not receive me or whatever. And he named names. We are supposed to name names. If somebody's causing strife and dissension, you are supposed to name their name. You're supposed to confront them, bring another one and confront them, then bring them before the group. That's the biblical way of doing it. Does anyone do that? No, not really. Not in churches either. It's not just on YouTube or social media, but they don't do it in churches either.
Yeah, but when you have someone that's manipulating from all sides, this is a little bit different, and that's where she talks about you can't just go on your hunch. You will know what's going on, but you need facts.
Right.
You need facts to bring forward before you confront that person and expose them. You have to present facts.
I like what you said about how she's seen things with people, but they don't know that she's seen it. That's the key.
Exactly.
It's not to let them know that you're onto them.
Exactly. You can't. No, you can't. You have to keep that to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Very important.
Yes.
Be blessed, and we're not in that season right now. We're in a season where we need to be discerning. We need to mind who we're talking to. We need to watch as well as pray. We need to watch out for our brothers and sisters who are very trusting of others.
Mm-hmm.
We got people who are going to befriend folks just so that they can get them into some trouble, just so that they can get some folks locked up, just so that they can get some people to give them certain monies, powers, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to get some things done, they've got to pretend like they like you, care about you, are going to do things for you.
Yep.
Okay? There's a movement of activity going on, and it looks friendly. It appears nice. They appear helpful. But in the end, they're nothing more than backstabbers, and they're going to turn on some people. I'm seeing just crowds and crowds of people with knives in their back. And the knives in their back are folks who are dressed in uniform that's doing it to them. But how would they get close enough for folks to stab them in the back? Because they trusted the Judases. The Judases are looking for some money. The Judases are looking for some power, some fame.
Yep.
And they're going to throw their own people under the bus.
Like you said.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They will throw people under the bus for fame.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Money, any kind of opportunity that benefits them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Even if it's just attention.
Right.
I told you, I'm seeing crowds of people with knives in their backs. And it's my mother, though. It's my sister. It's my brother. It's my cousin. It's my uncle. They always want to throw up titles. They would never do me like this. As I said in the other audio, they just did.
All right.
Lord Jesus. Satan is a deceiver, and he has spent an awful lot of time over centuries getting people to do his bidding.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation 12:9, and the great dragon was thrown down, the serpent of old, who is called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was thrown down to the earth. We're walking on this earth, right?
Yep.
And his angels were thrown down with him. This wasn't just images that we saw in movies. This wasn't just older people talking to us. This is what the Bible says. This is what those of us who have been in heavy meditation and praying and fasting, we have received confirmation. This isn't gossip. This is facts. And when we see people freaking out, and when we see people doing the unthinkable, and when we see people who are just bent over from just grief, I can't believe she did this to me. I can't believe he hurt me like this. I can't believe he threw the whole family under the bus like this. I can't believe this. What kind of person is this, right? Devil, Satan, puts people up to doing some wicked things.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because see, there's an abyss. There's an abyss. And he's going to be thrown into it along with everybody else that's been working with him. Now, we know that when we find out that somebody has hurt us and hurt us bad, and they're a Judas, sometimes there's a temptation to want to do some things. This is what you don't want to do.
Retaliation.
Exactly. You don't want to do.
And do not lead us into temptation, okay? But deliver us from evil.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to turn into Satan. You don't want to do satanic types of things to pay that Judas back. I mean, if anything, Satan's going to win. And those that wanted you to lose, they're going to be in support of all sorts of evil, especially when they're jealous of you. Oh yeah, go ahead on over there and tell him about his ugly self. Matter of fact, take your gun, take your knife, take whatever you need, because and meanwhile, they're hoping that you end up in jail.
Yep.
So that somebody can comfort somebody's husband, so that somebody can go up into somebody's house and claim everything that's up in there while you're in jail. You got to think ahead. You got to think ahead.
Yep.
All right. Some of you all, I know it hurts when you start thinking deeply about these things, because you say, now it makes sense. The little stories they came up with, the little false accusations, turning things on you, pointing a finger at other people when they were really the Judas. Lord Jesus. Thank you, Lord. And then forgiveness isn't weakness. Forgiveness is for those individuals who truly have confessed their sin and repented. And I'm so sorry that I turned on you like this, but I was under pressure. You know, my mama put me up to it, my daddy or whoever. Okay. And then they don't ever do you wrong after that. Okay, so I forgive you. But that other one, that one that's still up to no good, even though they said, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and they're still doing you wrong. We can't have mercy on that type of person. We allow the consequences of sin to catch up to them. We go to the one true God and ask that the wrath of God deal with them accordingly. See, some people, they don't want to pray those prayers because they're so afraid something's going to come back on them. No, if I'm covered under the blood covering of Jesus, and I know I didn't do my enemy wrong, my enemy did me wrong, there's nothing to be fearful of. 2 Corinthians 2:10-11, but one whom you forgive anything, I forgive also. For indeed, what I have forgiven, if I have forgiven anything, I did it for your sakes in the presence of Christ, so that no advantage would be taken of us by Satan, for we are not ignorant of his schemes. You see, the Apostle Paul and many of the other disciples, they were about the mission. They were about getting things done. They were not ignorant to the devil's schemes, but some of you all, you're ignorant to the devil's schemes because somebody pulled the wool over your eyes. Somebody put those rose-colored glasses so that you could not see the truth. If you got 50 some odd people saying to you, there's Judas, look at the track record, deceived all these women, deceived all these men, and you still want to believe that there's some good in this person?
Mm-hmm. I was
They
guilty.
got you right where they want you.
Yep.
Well, he told me the other day, I don't care what he told you. Well, she said, I don't care what she said. People always want to throw up good titles, always want to talk about, well, but they got a track record of deceiving people. They got a track record of being backstabbers. They got a track record of being gossips. They don't ever have facts to back up what they're saying. And you want me to believe or go along with or just be under the impression that he or she has changed because they gave you that impression? Oh, come on. You see, that's where I get upset with some folks. I mean, how much proof do you need? There's wives that turned on husbands, okay? Turned on them long time ago. Oh, but she had my back. She was ride or die. Then you find out when she's not in your life anymore. Are you sure about that? Especially if you done somebody wrong at some point and you never said you were sorry and you never changed. Oh, you'll have a Judas for life. Especially when that person's like a mad dog and they won't let go. You may have fell under so many snares dealing with that person and they're still not satisfied. I want him to suffer. I want her to suffer. You see? There are some Judases that they don't let go and they don't hang themselves. They just keep coming after and keep coming after until they end up in their graves. Lord Jesus, she got that she gave. 2 Timothy 3:13 said, but evil men and impostors will proceed from bad to worse, deceiving and being deceived. How many times does he have to go to jail? Come out and then go back to jail again before he'll change. How much stuff does she have to lose before she will finally surrender and stop backstabbing folks? They keep going and they keep going. We got some people in the church. Matthew 24:24 says, for false Christs and false prophets will arise and will show great signs and wonders so as to mislead, right? That false front, pretending as if they're of love and light and hope and peace. They mislead, if possible, even the elect. Well, I thought that he was degreed. I thought he could see the writing on the wall. I mean, what's up with him?
This takes me back to the leaders of the church.
They will be deceived.
Expound on that.
Well, they are literally misleading the flock. It just takes me back to the church. There's these men that have their own agendas, and it's creating a religion that has literally made them gods, and they have become what Christ is between the flock and God. They have literally taken Christ's place. And these people have no idea what wool has been pulled over their eyes.
Idolatry.
Well, they don't know. They're so tricky the way they word things within their literature.
Right.
It is so tricky. It is so deceptive.
It's true. A lot of stuff in the Catholic Church is like that as well. It's kind of underlying, hidden, not really out there. And it's usually only the upper groups of them, too.
Yeah,
So
they're
those in the church
secrets.
don't see it.
They have secret books that the rest of the congregation doesn't have.
Right.
But the thing was, I didn't look at what words were printed in their literature.
Right.
I looked at the patterns and the behaviors and the hierarchy within that church. And that's how I formed, I used logic, all right, put it all together. and recognize what was going on. And it's really sad because a lot of people, they're so stuck in the emotion of how it feels to fellowship with people you love that they're willing to just ignore things that are happening within the church that are not good, like pedophilia. They'll just ignore the fact that the elder just molested this child and that they just brushed it under the rug and moved the elder to another congregation.
Yep.
Because they got the church, they got the truth, and it isn't about the men in the they're not there for the men, they're there for God. But do you see how that is like do you see how the leaders mislead the flock? Because the fact that they think that way is because of how they've been indoctrinated.
Right. It's true.
Matter of fact, some of them are deceived right now. There's going to be those signs where men are going to sit up there and say, that's Jesus. That's nothing but Jesus. That's God. Oh, I know it's God. Revelation 13 and 14, he performs great signs, right? Judas, he can perform great signs, right? Whoever that Judas might be. So that he even makes fire come down out of heaven to the earth in the presence of men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth because of the signs which it was given him performed in the presence of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who had the wound of the sword and has come to life. Satan is doing that. And he's using some of the most unlikeliest people to convince us that they are sold out for Christ. But it's nothing more than a false light with some of these entertainers. That's all it is. They worship the beast. So we got the Judas among us once again, and he is coming in all sorts of shapes, sizes, and forms, from the most beautiful to the ugly. Looking like a human being, but not really a human being. We got some Judases who work and work well, but they are working out a plan to bring some people down because, well, you're righteous and I don't like you. Or I forgot, you're one of those believers.
Yep.
Okay?
Or you're just a happy person.
The false prophets, the false teachers, 2 Peter 2, 1 through 3. But false prophets also arose among the people. Okay? In Jesus' day, there were false prophets that also arose among the people. Judas was among the group. Judas most likely was praying and he was, just doing the types of things that Jesus was telling them all to do.
Yep.
And Jesus knew that Judas was going to turn. And some of you all, Judas could be working, doing all the things that you're doing. Okay? Working well, as I said earlier, but a false prophet. Just as there will also be false teachers among you who will secretly introduce destructive heresies, even denying the master who bought them, bringing swift destruction upon themselves. Did you notice that there's going to be swift destruction? Many will follow their sensuality, and because of them, the way of the truth will be maligned. And in their greed, Judas was greedy. They will exploit you with false words. Their judgment from long ago is not idle, and their destruction is not asleep. So rest in that. Because some of you all are like, okay.
Oh, hold on that. I love what she said about not asleep. That seems to be common with a lot of people that are like this. They're up so late because they're plotting and planning what they're going to do the next time they see you. It's not unusual. I've had that happen with, more than one person where they just can't sleep at night. So they're just up trying to figure out how they're going to scheme the next day to get this person against that person, and just to twist everything you say and whatever. That's why the Bible says it's a shame to speak about what evil men do in the darkness. They wait till it's dark, and that's when they start planning their little ploys.
And in the church, Dee, what they call those of us that have saw through the falsehood,
Mhm.
of the church that claimed it was a Christian church.
Mhm.
But those of us that did further research and found out that indeed they were not Christian, and of course they were afraid that we would speak to others within the church to kind of alert them to the falsehood within their doctrines, and
Right.
of course all the things that were going on behind the scenes. What they would write in their literature for the assemblies was that those of us that left or spoke out were mentally diseased,
Yeah. Mhm.
and they were to stay away from us,
Yeah,
not speak to us or have anything to do with us.
Mhm. I've heard that. I think every cult group also has that one term they use for the people that are out, that they're not to have anything to do with. They're to shun them. It's not outcasts. There's a word for it. It's not imposters. It's
Apostates.
apostates.
They
Thank
call
you.
us apostates, and
Yeah.
that's why on YouTube we formed the Apostate Army, because we
Oh.
are proud to be apostates.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
left a cult that claimed it was Christian and
Yep.
is not, and is guilty of many crimes against humanity.
Mm.
As far as a lot of children dying because not being able to take blood transfusions,
Right.
women dying giving birth, all the children that were molested and no justice was done and everything was swept under the rug.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
But we're mentally diseased.
Yeah. Exactly.
No Judas is around, but is there anything that's going to happen
Sorry.
to the person? Yes, there is. But he seems like he's winning, or she seems like she's getting over, and everybody's deceived and thinks that she's such a wonderful, or he's such a great. The truth always comes out.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it does.
I've seen it time and time again. That's why I don't care about what people say. Like some folks are like, aren't you concerned that, this is being said or that's being said? Why am I going to be concerned? This is your own family, blah, 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 blah. Look, I'm not concerned because just as I opened up my Bible a long time ago, went to the one true God, they can do the same thing.
Yep.
Just like I said, Lord Jesus, I just want to draw near to you. I don't want to draw near to men. I don't want to draw near to women. I want to draw near to you.
Mm-hmm.
They could do the same thing instead of being Judases, instead of being disrespectful, instead of saying that people's crazy or people's stupid or people don't know what they're talking about,
Right.
because God's listening.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, but that type of conversation is not prohibited. It is not allowed. Okay? It is prohibited. You are not to do that to the people of God. But some folks still haven't caught on because there's so many false prophets talking about touch not thy anointed and all this other stuff. But meanwhile, the real prophets, you are not supposed to be talking crazy and doing disrespectful things and saying things behind their back or being Judases and turning against them, pretending like you're friends when you're really foe. Right?
True.
But we know some people like this. Just give their names over to the one true God and keep it moving. Now we need to spot and stop manipulators, because Judas would fall under that, okay? Whoever your Judas might be. 8 tips for keeping them at a distance or breaking free. Now, some of you all, you've heard me say this time and time again, but you need psychologytoday.com to confirm it. So here we are. And I like Preston Nee. He has wrote other articles that were very beneficial, and I'm going to pull this up. Psychological manipulation can be defined as the exercise of undue influence through mental distortion and emotional exploitation with the intention to do what? As we've said in other audio, to seize power, control, benefits, and privileges at the victim's expense. So why would Judas jump through hoops? Why would Judas do all of these sorts of things? Because Judas is after something, okay? Most manipulative individuals have 4 common characteristics. Look out for them. They know how to detect your weaknesses. I've said this in other audio. I've quoted this article before. Once found, they use your weaknesses against you. Through their shrewd machinations, they convince you to give up something of yourself in order to serve their self-centered interests. And in work, social, and family situations, Once a manipulator succeeds in taking advantage of you, he or she will likely repeat the violation until you put a stop to the exploitation. You got to put a stop to the exploitation. If you don't want to keep being played,
That's right.
who you suspect is a Judas or it has been revealed,
Yep.
you cannot continue to feed that Judas, continue to shelter that Judas.
Mhm.
You cannot be the one who continues to sleep with that Judas.
Yep.
You cannot be the one that continues to buy that Judas. As my grandmother said, you cannot buy love.
Mhm.
But some people try.
All
And
the
so
time.
this is why they get the upper hand, because some of you all, you just refuse to see that there is this person among you who has a demonic influence that may be in and around them. And you think that you can continue to work with them in a worldly way. And
Mm-mm.
meanwhile, it's spiritual. It's a spiritual battle. So you've got to beware in Ephesians chapter 6. And if you haven't read that, please do. I won't get into it in this audio. But I will tell you that you have rights. God didn't create any fool. You have rights, okay?
Mhm.
So you need to exercise your right. You need to be treated with respect in a relationship. Okay, for instance, you have every right to express your feelings, your opinions at once. You got some of these relatives who say, you don't need to say this, you don't need to say that, you're this and you're that. I don't care what names they call you. At the end of the day, you have every right to express your feelings about someone or something. You know, as long as it's valid, it's righteous, you know what the Lord has put upon your heart. There's nothing wrong with that. You can set your own priorities. You don't need to be putting everybody's priorities over your own, especially when you know you are married and you have children, okay? But some folks will try to do that in a slick way. These are just also some signs, too, that you can pay attention to, that this person is self-centered. They're, after something. They, are taking advantage of you, right? Judas will take advantage of you as well. Judas will lie.
Yes.
Judas will take advantage. Judas will use power and control. Judas will devalue you in some way while esteeming his or herself. Judas will discredit you. Judas will steal from you. Judas will cheat on you. Judas will manipulate you into giving up something like money or your children. Okay? This Judas of a person will look for benefits in throwing you under the bus.
Mm.
So you've got to be that one that knows your rights. You have a right to take care of yourself and protect your family, okay? You know that this person is showing his or her whole card. You have every right. You can say no without feeling guilty. No, I'm not doing that. Sorry. What? What do you mean? You heard me.
Mhm.
There may be some hell to pay, but you stood up for yourself. Okay?
Yeah, there, and there will be.
Manipulating you when
There will be hell to pay when you stand up for yourself. They will come for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because they do not want to see you standing.
showing all sorts of faces in front of different people. You can see it sometimes. Maybe they haven't come to you yet, but you can see how they're playing people.
Mhm.
I see he's on his way. He's about to try something with me. Distance yourself. Okay?
That's right.
Personalization and self-blame. Since the manipulator's agenda is to look for and exploit your weaknesses, it is understandable that you may feel inadequate or even blame yourself for not satisfying the manipulator. In these situations, it's important to remember that you are not the problem. You are not the problem. Okay?
Mhm.
You're simply being manipulated to feel bad about yourself. So when you start having these standards, when you start exercising your rights, when you start telling this Judas that you're not going to be ride or die with him or her no more, okay, they're going to want to come at you. They're going to want to attack you, and they're going to want to, say all sorts of bad things about you, and they make you feel bad, and, all sorts of stuff. Do not allow them to do that to you.
Yep, don't react.
Because, see, the whole plan is, like what Preston Nee says in his article, if they can do that to you, then you're more likely to surrender your power and your rights.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
That make you feel bad about yourself. You're going to be like, you know what? Yeah, you got a point. Okay, let me just keep doing this for you then. I mean, because I shouldn't, look, I want you out of the situation. This isn't about making you feel bad. I want you out of the situation that's keeping you bound, that's keeping you away from the one true God. I want you to draw near to him, because it is him who's going to see you through. It is him that is going to make your remaining years on this planet more fulfilling, okay? More at peace. But we draw to men and women, and then we want somehow some type of everlasting happiness. Keep dreaming. Put the focus on them by asking probing questions. That manipulator, that Judas, that one that you suspect. Let me see. What you just asked me, does that sound reasonable? Just think about it. I mean,
they don't like questions like that.
No, they don't.
Okay, now you want me to do what? Now, that doesn't seem fair to me, because look at all of the other things that I've done for you. You see? Well, I mean, you're planning on everything, right? You're telling me I should do this, that, and the other. You're saying that we're going here. You're saying that we're going to be there at this particular time. I mean, do I have a say in this?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a minute. You just told me. Are you asking me, or are you telling me? Because it sounds like you're telling me. And if you're telling me, it also sounds like you're trying to control me. All right, so I hear all of what you're getting out of this. You're getting a lot. But what am I getting? You see? Oh, there you go. Somebody's about to come up out of their foolishness. Yes. Now, wait a minute. Are you really expecting me to do that? Come on now. You know me better than that. I'm not going to do that. Now, argumentative or violent Judas, the manipulator, is going to say, wait a minute. What do you mean? What are you talking about? No, you're going to do this for me, or else. Oh, is that how we're going to do this? Oh, we're going to do it like this? You see, there's the intimidation. There's a moving in on you.
Yeah, once the control they start losing the control, the intimidation starts.
You need to have witnesses. You don't need to be nowhere with this person by yourself.
Nope.
Matter of fact, you should have had your exit plan prepared yesterday. All right? Use time to your advantage. How can you get this man or this woman who's a bit, controlling and pressuring you? Just tell them you'll think about it. Okay? Let me think about it. I don't know. Right? Oh, but this is going to be a good opportunity. Or, you know what, honey, we've been wanting to plan this. And I mean, in the past, you talked about it. And then meanwhile, you're saying to yourself, yeah, in the past, when I was naive, when I was stupid, but I'm not that no more.
Right.
So I'm going to think about it. And meanwhile, you're thinking about it is really, no, I'm not. And you can say no over the phone, or you can send no via text. Make sure you're safe. Know how to say no diplomatically, but firmly. You heard me say no, right? But I said no.
Okay. That's just about done, I think.
Okay. Come on. No. Is that convincing? Of course not. So, of course, Judas is going to keep coming at you and want you to be a part of something, or want you to do something with him or her. You keep playing. Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure some things out. Really? So you're going to confront these bullies. You're going to do it safely. You're going to set consequences if this person continues to be disrespectful and they're violating your boundaries. You're going to simply say, okay, you know what? This isn't going anywhere. I thought that we were going to be able to work this thing out, but it's obvious that we're not. You want to argue, and I don't have to put up with this. And so your name doesn't go on anything. You don't make a contribution. You don't stay in the household with that argumentative, crazy-making, threatening person. You make arrangements to be gone. Move on. Judas, you see him. You know how he operates. You see her. You know what he or she, the group is up to. Don't fall prey. And forget about that name calling, all that fighting and trying to defend yourself because they called you a name. That's worthless. Utilize your energy in getting away from that person. Okay? Well, thank you as always for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Good stuff. I'm getting tired, but yeah, G. Marie, I'm sorry you're going through that with your ex and stuff. I'm not really sure what to tell you about it, other than pray, 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 because God can move mountains for you.
Well, her heart is soft, and he
Mhm.
manipulates her, and he's
Yeah.
horrible towards her.
Yes.
And it's hard. I mean, we're all different, but eventually you're going to get strong enough. Everything that happens to you is going to make you stronger.
Yes. Sure.
I mean, I can't believe I even finally got rid of John.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a long time, but each time, we went through the cycle of, you know how it goes. They're nice to you.
Sure.
Then they right away start devaluing you. I mean, it's just vicious. It can't just stay nice and wonderful and loving.
No, it can't.
So each time that he would devalue and discard and treat me like crap and do silent treatment or whatever else he would do, it would push me further away, and each time made me stronger. I think my situation might be different from yours, but what I'm saying is that you will be okay. You are trying to move forward. You're not giving up.
Right. No, I'm not. And that's important not to. Anybody got any comments, questions, thoughts? Because I'm getting tired and I'm probably hit the hay. It's 11:27, almost 11:30. You're welcome, Jean Marie. All
I
right.
know. I really wish I could help you, Jean Marie. I know it's horrible. I heard that one call where how he was talking to you was
Yeah.
horrible. It's crazy land. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. All right, y'all. I'm going to get going. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. Sorry I'm not more awake, but it's after 11 and I start turning into a pumpkin at about 8:30.
I know. I gotta head to bed too.
Yeah. All right. God bless everybody. Thanks for coming, for commenting and sharing and
And
caring about
remember,
people.
this applies to your life and your own circumstances and whatever your situation is. You take the meaning and put it towards your life and whatever your circumstances to be able to get strong for it.
Yep. Exactly. All right. Everybody have an empowering night. Remember what you learned. Hopefully you took some notes on it. I definitely got it in my spirit strong. So
Yeah.
you guys do good to each other and be free and blessed and have a good day tomorrow. And yeah, tomorrow is Wednesday, I believe. I've got a bunch of stuff going on tomorrow, so I may or may not be on the internet. Who knows? At any rate, everybody have a good night's sleep. If it's night.
Oh yeah, you got it. Yeah, you're gonna post her link, right?
I will post her link.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, she's such a good speaker.
Yeah, go and watch her other videos too. She's amazing. I
Yeah.
will definitely post the link though. I'm going to post it in this video in the comment section. I won't post it right now because I'll have to go there and get it. And yeah, I'll post it in the comment section.
And whatever your struggle is, you'll feel stronger after listening to her.
Yeah, definitely. She's awesome. And very word of faith, by the way, in case anybody wondered. She's very charismatic and word of faith. But
she's a good speaker.
She's awesome. She's awesome. So is RC Blake's. Both of them are really good. So you guys have a great night. Thanks for coming in. Thank you if you moderators were playing whack-a-mole.
I don't even think we had to.
I don't think we did either. I didn't see any.
Very nice. In here. It was really nice.
Yes, God is good. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
God bless.